John Madsen of Supra is not the same dude that came out of the Raiders. It's a different beast.
I might go down in history as one of the greatest fitness marketers of all time. I had made $1.2 million in the NFL, and I started to realize, how did I make that happen? But then why am I struggling so much in this next part of my life?
Dude, what changed?
You'll never be influential if you don't have that something or people want to follow. And if you have that, you can sell anything.
Life is a pitch. It's simply that. It is a pitch, and it is fun. Let's make sure that you're being sold what you want and you're selling what you actually want to sell. I really just love selling. It's the easiest thing on the planet if you believe in yourself. Let's buckle up. By the way, my name's JL. This is Sell Anything.
I don't know if you listened to the first podcast, probably not, but I interviewed Dallin Rogers, and he talked about his brief stint at Supra. Mm-hmm. And we dissected how he closed nothing.
The worst ever.
He said that.
Mm-hmm. It blew my mind, actually.
He owned it.
Yeah.
He 100% owned it. And then I had been texting back and forth with Grant about it. And I was like, dude, what's going on here? Mm-hmm. So that, now it's a machine. Mm-hmm. Supra is a machine of just people who are spitting out machines, dude. Mm-hmm. I want to hear it. So
cool.
Give me some background.
Yeah, man. So, when I was a kid, my life was spent at the baseball diamond, the football field, the basketball court. If anybody asked me, John, what do you want to do when you grow up? That question that you ask 7-year-olds or 10-year-olds. Yeah. Professional athlete was it. That was plan A, that was plan B, that was plan C. That was what I wanted to do. That's what I loved. And to keep a really long story short, when I got to high school, I had played every sport. But the first sport that came up when I was at Hunter High School in West Valley City, Utah, was football. So all my friends that I grew up with playing football, we go out to summer conditioning, we go into the weight room for the first time, and we're asked to max out on bench press, squat, and deadlift, and power clean. And it was like, okay, I don't know how to do all those, but the bench press looks like the simplest of the four. Yeah. And so me and my friends went back to the corner. We start, warming up with a bar. Yeah. And then we threw 25 pounds on each side, 95 pounds on an Olympic bar. Yeah. And all of my friends repped it out, 5 times as a warm up. Yeah. Well, as soon as one of my buddies lifted it off the rack, the bar comes crushing down on my chest, and it felt like I broke my sternum. Yeah. But more than that, it was like my confidence shattered. Yeah. And so I looked around, I'm like, dude, these guys are all way bigger than me. Maybe football's not the sport. Yeah. I'll just focus all my attention on basketball and baseball. I was kind of a tall, skinny kid. Yeah. And so I quit. I didn't play a single down of high school football. Thought I was going to go to the NBA or the MLB. Yeah. And I graduated high school without a single scholarship offer. And so I was the first child. I had only registered for one junior college, which was Snow College, and they gave me tuition because of my grades. Yeah. So I go down there, and there's about 5 kids that played at my high school football team that were all going out down there to play football. Yeah. And I'm looking around, I'm like, I'm a better athlete than all of them. That's what I thought in my head. I'm like, if they're going to play college ball, I can run faster, I can jump higher, I can catch the ball better. Yeah. So I went there with the intention to play basketball. Okay. But football came first. And so I went into the football coach's office. I'm like, hey, man, I haven't played in 3 years, but I think I can be a pretty good wide receiver. Yeah. And they looked at me like I was crazy, but they said, you know what, you can try out. Can't promise you anything. And from day one, after they saw me run and catch the ball a little bit, they're like, whoa, you're not going to play basketball anymore. If you focus on this, get bigger, get stronger, and actually learn how to play football, you can play for a long time. And so that's where I planted my flag. Ended up transferring out of that junior college, playing for Urban Meyer at the University of Utah. We won the Fiesta Bowl. Yeah. I was supposed to go in the first round as a wide receiver. Right. All the draft analysis agents, all the people had me as like, you're on your way to being a first round draft pick, $1 million signing bonus in your pocket. Last 3 games of the year, though, I break my leg. I can't run for 10 months. And so I go from a very high draft prospect to not going to the combine to not being able to run for 12 full months, and getting a $5,000 signing bonus, I guess you would say, from Oakland, and a one-way plane ticket. I could try out. And so I got there. I moved from wide receiver to tight end and was the only undrafted guy to make opening day roster that year. So that was like my childhood dream coming true. Played for 3 years, scored a couple touchdowns, lived a dream, played a lot of special teams. And then I was out at 27 years old, and I had to figure out what I was going to do with my life. I went right back to that moment that 95-pound bar crushed me in the weight room. And I'm like, fitness changed my life. And then I opened up my first gym in Salt Lake City in 2010. And that's where the fitness portion came into play.
I love it, man. So cool. Where at in the Valley? Where are you in Salt Lake?
Yeah, so I grew up in West Valley.
Yep.
But I knew that there wasn't enough money in West Valley,
Yeah.
right? It's like if I was going to offer this training, it had to be, done in a way where parents were going to be able to pay. Kids weren't paying for it, right? And so I opened up in Draper, and so there was the Alta kids, the Bingham kids, and I created a nice little gym right in that pocket.
Yeah.
And the goal that I wrote down at that point was I want to be the best strength and conditioning coach in the state of Utah, and that was where all my focus was. I had made $1.2 million in the NFL. So money wasn't like the thing that was driving me at that point. It was purpose. And I just loved strength and conditioning, the mental aspect of it. And for 5 years, that's all I read. That's all I consumed, is like that was my life, was building those kids up, which then turned into me having agents send guys out, training them for the combine, dozens of NFL players, World Series champions, and top echelon athletes, in addition to a lot of high school kids.
That's so cool, man.
Yeah.
That's so cool, because we're close to the same age. So there's Jordan Pendleton. He had a gym out there. He's still doing that stuff. And there was you. There's a handful, but dude, you made a dent, because there's a lot of kids that you sent through that got D1 offers. And do you know how many off the top of your head D1 offers you?
Over 100. I used to keep the posters. If a kid got into college, I'd make a poster and then I'd hang them all over the gyms. And so it got to the point where,
and then they feel all famous. They come in there like,
well, it was more aspirational for the younger kids,
Yeah.
right? It's like they see all these kids that come through that gym. They're like, oh, if they can do it, I can do it. And I think that's one of the most powerful beliefs that you can instill in anybody, especially young athletes. It's like, look, these guys are the same as you. They did it. Someone's going to do it. Why not you?
Beautiful. And I've noticed that pattern actually exists in Supra now, because you guys have the Hall of Fame, right?
Yeah.
Is that what it's called?
Yeah. The top honor that you can win in Supra Human is the Supra Human Hall of Fame.
But dudes are pumped about it.
Pumped.
And they're 50, 60-year-old entrepreneurs
Yeah.
that are like, yeah, I want to be up there.
Yeah, could we give them a jersey? It has their last name on it. Like, I'm a big proponent of going through life celebrating yourself. It's like a lot of people go to these sporting events and they're wearing names of other men. I don't like, coming from professional athlete, like, I just think that's kind of silly for 45-year-olds to wear a jersey that's celebrating other person's
45-year-old.
achievements, right?
Yeah.
And I get fandom, right? But like, for me, I'm like, no, we're going to celebrate you. Like, this is something that you've earned and you can't buy it anywhere. This jersey is like only given to people who have epic transformations, and we don't let anybody in that has a transformation that's mediocre. It's got to be epic.
Wild.
Yeah.
Dude, I love it. I think it's so cool. Supra is literally, it's massive.
Yeah.
Like, massive. Because 4 years ago, if we rewind 4 years ago, $1 million was the goal. And you guys were, if I recall correctly, landed just shy of $1 million that first year. And then it's been just a hockey stick since.
Yeah. So going back to like 2010 with that first gym, right? I dumped like 150 grand into equipment, field turf, all that stuff. Had no idea how to run a business. 16 months later, I had to pull all the equipment out of the thing because I had a 5-year lease and I couldn't pay the lease. And so I was like, they're going to put the locks on, then all the equipment's going to be locked up. Let's get it out. I housed it in my garage, sold it for pennies, and then moved into, one of my buddies had a gym, and I was like just training out of that gym for 8 months until I saved up enough money, because my bank account went to zero. And then I got this little tiny warehouse, rickety. It was the dirtiest, nastiest warehouse you've ever seen.
Where was this one?
This was in Midvale.
That's dirty.
Right. Yeah,
No offense to Midvale.
And I didn't even, like, I had some, dude, there was a sporting events when I grew up called Ed's Athletic. It was this old place downtown. It's like, Dick's is this awesome sporting goods store, right? Or Shields. Ed's was this guy named Ed, and he had all these odds and ends, and he would weld shit himself. And so I went in there and I'm like, can you weld me 3 racks? And so, you know how they weld and they have like the holes? It's like, we got the racks back and you couldn't even stick the spotting holes in because they were off, right? They were like, they weren't measured right. And all the weights had like rust on it. And I had kids drive 2 hours to work out, 2 hours back home.
Yeah.
4 days a week. Like this was like before any of it was, there was velocity that was in the valley.
Okay.
And then like me. And I was like, and I just use that as a superpower. I'm like, yeah, you can go to the nice stuff, but like, this is where yeah, exactly. No air conditioning. So when the summer, you know, the thermometer's looking like it's 101 in there.
Yeah.
And then in the winter, the bar's so cold, kids were wearing snow gloves to bench press because the bars would be frozen, dude.
It takes what it takes.
Yeah, but I always use it to my power. I'm like, like we're building toughness here.
You think it's going to be warm out there when you go catch
I'm
that
like,
ball?
we will kill those kids that are working out in those nicer places. So like,
It makes me happy.
Yeah, I graduated from that one to a little bit bigger version of the nastiness that was a little bit nicer. And then ultimately, I moved into a fairly big one in Holiday, and then realized I didn't want to do that anymore. And then that's when I went to Excel. So there was literally a 9-year journey of almost failure at every corner where I was like, multiple times, I'm like, I saw my friends that were in like real estate or commercial real estate or insurance sales, right? And they were driving their Beamers, and I was like, damn, I picked the wrong profession, man. Like, why do I love fitness? I'm like, in my head, I had this conversation. I'm like, I'm pretty smart. If I just chose something else, I'd be succeeding a lot more. And so like, there was multiple times I questioned my journey of getting into fitness in the first place. And so 2019 happened, and that's when I started to realize there was a trend going online, and I wanted a different kind of lifestyle. I started studying under Hormozy and a couple other internet marketing type guys, and started dabbling in it. 2019 is when I planted the flag down and was like, physical locations are done. It's all online from here on out. And that was when I had that $1 million goal, because previous to that, it was like I might have made, 200 grand revenue and spent 220. It's like the business was dog shit. And so that was like I'm just a slow learner, I guess.
I get it.
Yeah.
I 100% understand. Dude, so I've heard you say a few times through different, because I did athletic AF for a while, lost like 30 pounds. Then I took a little break, still trained, still lift, but I didn't eat properly.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden we started this podcast, and I saw myself on film, and I was like, okay. And then I text you, and I'm like, tell me about the CEO program, dude.
Yep.
So then I jump back in, and it takes what it takes. And that's what I wanted to say is I've heard you say it a few times. It takes what it takes. I've lifted since I was 15 years old.
Yeah.
And my body is changing more rapidly as a 41-year-old man because I'm finally just being obedient to the macros.
Right.
It takes what it takes.
Yeah.
And it's just going fast. But it seems like that is a pattern. You literally have been like, it's snow. Dude, you're not going to look at football. You're not going to look at baseball anymore. This is what you're going to do. Took what it took.
Yeah.
And then you got into the NFL. It took what it took. Let's talk a little bit about that, dude. I've heard you say it a few times.
Yeah.
And you live it.
I mean, especially like if I'm talking about it in a fitness sense, right?
Yeah.
It's like I remember this one time where this girl was, she wouldn't mind me sharing this. It was actually Urban Meyer's daughter. And so she was the most coachable, like her mindset was phenomenal. I mean, obviously you come from a legend, right? And I was helping her with her business, but also she wanted to
She
train.
was in the group when you first started on
Yeah. And I remember coaching her, and she's like, John, I'm up at 5 a.m. every morning. I drink a gallon of water. I get 10,000 steps every single day. I haven't missed a workout in 6 months. I journal. I get 8 hours of sleep. She's like, why am I not getting the result? And I'm like, because you're negotiating the most important part and you're justifying it by doing everything else perfectly. It's like, if you want the result, you got to hit your macros.
It's a thing.
Right.
It's a real
thing.
thing.
And she's like, but I'm doing everything else. I'm like, that's great. But you got to, that doesn't mean that you can not do the thing that's perhaps the most important thing for you.
Right.
And she got it, and just bam. Like, and she wasn't completely, like, she was in great shape, and then she went phenomenal shape.
Yeah.
Right.
Is she still doing fitness online?
She's mom mode now. And so, yeah,
That's the thing.
but they do have a fitness business. Her husband does really good work too. And so, Yeah. To your point though, like when I say it takes what it takes is like that, like if you know what it takes, right? And we have exact parameters of what it's going to take when it comes to fitness, you can't negotiate any of those parts out and then think that you're going to deserve a phenomenal result. It takes all of that, but it doesn't take, you know, you don't have to get in an ice bath every day. Like doesn't matter from a, you know, a physicality standpoint.
We did that one time together. It was the most miserable thing in my life.
You don't have to do 2-a-days.
Not in the tub.
Right. You don't have to do 2-a-days. You don't have to not eat cake for the rest of your life.
Right.
Right. You don't have to do a ton of stuff, but you do have to do what's necessary. And I think that a lot of people, they don't know what's necessary. So they're, you know, they're doing the stuff that comes a little easier for them. Like in terms of fitness, like training usually is the easiest part. They're like, I like to go to the gym. I like how it makes me feel. They do that part. But then they chase it down with, you know, weekends with guzzling, you know,
whatever
a 6-pack of beer. Right. So a lot of times people just don't understand what it takes. And so that's why they don't get the result. And then sometimes people have very well understand what it takes. Even in your case, you just weren't willing to do everything that it took. Yeah. And then once you do, it's a different game.
It's 100% true.
Yeah.
And so a pattern that I've seen with you as well is you've learned, like you've talked about Tony Robbins. You went and did his thing. Hermosi's a big deal with Gym Launch. You did his thing. Like those dudes knew what it took in business. And so you just plugged yourself into that system. And now on a business level, like you are ripping out insane transformations. Like every day there's almost a different new in the group thread of like, oh, dude didn't have abs like 6 months ago. Now dude's jacked. And that this is just the common culture inside of Supra. But you're doing it there. You're also doing it in business, because I've also, in the past, we've crossed over the last 4 years, met other coaches who are doing fitness online. They're not on the hockey stick growth that you're on because you're just an incredible student. Like, and you're incredible at understanding that idea of it takes what it takes. So tell us a little bit about the growth of Supra, man.
Yeah. And I think, like, I'm a firm believer that you'll only go as far as your ambition goes. And so, like, to my credit, I might be one of the most ambitious people that you've ever met. And I have a wife who's also very ambitious, right? And so in fitness, a person will go to their lowest standard. It's like they get to a certain point, they're like, yeah, it's good enough, right? I'm usually a little bit more than good enough. There's still a limit, right? I'm not trying to go on stage and win bodybuilding shows, and I don't care about that. So it's like, I want to live in this top 1%. When it comes to business, I'm so ambitious to do something special and to have a certain type of life that I would do whatever it took. So if that meant investing, you know, dozens of thousands of dollars to Hormozi and learning underneath 4 different other fitness, you know, business guys, going to Tony Robbins, going through Will's training, it's like there was no amount of money that I wasn't willing to part way with to get what I wanted. And so it was this long game of like delayed gratification. If you're hungry enough, you will go and accumulate the skill set needed. You will find the people, you will find the skills, you will find it. If you're not hungry enough, you just won't. You won't ever do that stuff. You won't pay for the coach. You won't pay the time that it's going to take to learn. And at the earliest inconvenience, you'll stop, you'll quit, and other people will pass you up. So as a function of business, I've just had that ambition that has driven my willingness to do whatever it took to get to a lifestyle that was congruent with how I saw myself.
Dude, there's like so many things in there we could just jump in and dissect, and like, that's a lot.
Yeah.
I liked it.
Yeah.
It was a good answer. So ambition, how you saw yourself, so many things inside of that. The first thing at the very beginning of what you were saying, though, is you mentioned that your wife is super ambitious. So I say this with all of the love of my heart. When Nineveh got involved, dude, it was like night and day difference.
Yeah.
Would you agree?
Yeah, 100%. Because, you know, and it was difficult at first because she had been very successful in, you know, 2 previous careers.
She was on Fox News when I was in high school.
Number one, she was an anchor, so she was obviously very ambitious. And then she essentially was like a VP of a very successful tech company where she built departments, right?
Cool.
And I'm this guy who never had a real job. Went from NFL to, trying to run a gym to starting this online thing. And, we got to a point where we were doing a couple $1 million, but, the scalability was like, it was just we were building a house on a very sandy foundation, right? She would come in, she's like, so what does this person do? And I'm like, whatever I tell them, yeah. And she's like, well, how do you know they're doing it? I'm like, well, I mean, if they're not doing it, then I'll know eventually. Yeah. And she's just like, oh my God, and so we realized very fast, I'm a terrible manager. I'm a great leader. I cannot manage people, cannot. And so she came in with a different skill set, a different brain, a different personality, and the same ambition. Right. And so although there was some friction in the beginning because I was used to, calling all the shots and, not answering to anybody, eventually we got to this place where we realized that my lane is what, her lane is how. And when we looked at our business through that lens, I was able to step into my superpower and concentrate fully on what I'm great at. And then she was able to do what she was great at, and the scalability of the company just exploded because it takes both. Awesome.
So, and you guys are on target to essentially double again.
Yeah, we did, essentially 987,000 was like when I had that $1 million goal. I had a $1 million goal for years, forever. Right? And it was like I kept writing it down and I never got any closer. But the closest we got was 987. And then it was like we jumped from 987 to like 3 mil. And then the next year we did like 4 mil. And so, and the 3 and 4 mil, like the 987 to 3 was a big lifestyle jump. It was like, oh, there's finally there's money accumulating a little bit. 3 to 4 was the most painful of all the years because now we had enough money. We thought we were pretty good, good enough to be dangerous, but also very vulnerable. I think like that range for businesses is very scary. You're a couple catastrophes away from just having it fold. And so from the outside, revenue numbers look good, but we spent way more money to make the 4 than we did the 3. And so when we're looking at the financials, it's like, oh, where's this money? It's like, oh, it's not as profitable as we thought, right? And so that was like very, very rough times, in my opinion, like the hardest of times besides the dungeon gyms, right? That was the hardest time Supra had to go through. Right. But then we made the jump to 8, and that was another like big lifestyle jump, big, it was just different. Then we did 26. Wow. So it was 8 to 26. And that was when all the difference happened, right? Now we have momentum. We have enough money to go spend on talent. We have people now in leadership positions that are, building stuff on their own. And it's like the team just kind of took off. And, now we're mad if we don't do $1 million weeks. And so, the $1 million seemed like a lot in a year. Now I'm like, if we don't do $1 million a week, like there's a problem, like what's going on? And so we will absolutely do 50 plus this year. And the sky's the limit. It's like that's the hockey stick. But it started in 2010. It's 2025. It's 15 years where I questioned whether fitness was even the thing that I should be doing.
Dude, I love it. Yeah. So it no longer went from a question and became a commitment, and it became easy. Yeah. Is what it sounds like. And then
it's still not easy, Yeah. It's you can breathe. Money's oxygen, right? Like, agreed. There's a lot of problems people have in life where, they say money isn't happiness, and that might be true. There's no equal sign there. Money's just money. But if you have problems, it's like money's there to solve a lot of them, right? Correct. And some people, if they get, they take their car in, they're like, they find out they need new tires, and it's like, oh my God. It's like, right. There's different levels of problems where money just, erases all that. Yeah.
It really is. I have a really good buddy who's invested in one of my companies that has gone through some serious health challenges. But because he's in a position to invest and he's got money and he's got time, he's navigating through them like a champion, and he's getting better every day. Where if someone who did not have the resources of money was facing the same stuff, they'd probably already died.
It's a sad, dude. Yeah. It's a sad thing, right? But one of the things I've realized with money is like so many people have a problem with it, right?
It's weird.
It's like they, on one hand, they want it, but they hate it. It's like you can't make money if you hate it. Okay. And so for me, like I'm unapologetic about my desire for having a shitload of money.
You should have it.
Right. But most people don't think that. They're like, oh, people that make money are this, or, you know, we're not that type of people, or, you know, where I come from. It's all this identity stuff that until a person is okay with making buckets of money, they will never make buckets of money.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Okay, so that actually is a perfect little segue for the whole world of selling, because sales, you can make so much money just selling other people's stuff. That's literally how I've made all of my money, is selling other people's stuff. That said, identity keeps coming across the board. And I remember, as we said in the beginning, Snow College Snow or John is not the same John of Supra.
Yeah.
Like not even close.
Right.
And so that identity continues to shift. Like one thing I remember you saying a lot is giving yourself permission to win.
Yeah.
Let's talk a little bit about that as far as money's concerned, if you're okay with that.
Yeah. No, it's great. You know, for a lot of, I look back at my early years thinking about becoming a professional athlete. Like I gave myself full permission to dream about that and really think that was going to happen. Mm-hmm. And I made it, right? Mm-hmm. But then in the gym space from 2010 to 2019, I started to realize, like, I'm like, how did I make that happen? But then why am I struggling so much in this next part of my life? And what I realized was I kept waiting for someone to come up and, you know, give me permission to go, you know, reach the next dream, right? It's like someone needed to come and say, like, John, you can do it, or you know, it was really weird. I felt like locked up in like needing permission to go get what I really wanted, because what I really wanted, it might not be the most politically correct thing to say, and so other people might look at what I wanted and be like, oh, like that's, you know, why does it matter if you have millions and millions and millions of dollars, or why does it matter if you want to have this type of house, or why does it matter that you want to fly private? And so I would be like, kind of like dimming my dreams down, because it's like it didn't sound great if I was just to come out and say it. And then I got really clear about what I wanted, and I was like, you know what? I'm going to unapologetically chase the life that I want. I don't care what anybody has to say about it. I've given myself permission to go do it. I don't care if people think I'm unworthy. I don't care if people think I'm an imposter. I don't care if people think whatever they're going to think. They're not the captain of my life. I am. And that's when we kind of broke free. And so one of the core value of Supra Human is give yourself permission to win. If I go speak on stage, I speak on that, and people have tears streaming down their face because they're like, I haven't given myself permission.
Right.
And it's so subtle, but it's a shift that when it happens, you go from kind of tap dancing around your dreams to chasing them unapologetically. And you can't hit your goals if you're not going to do that. And so a lot of times people write down their goals, but they've never given themselves permission to actually do it. Right?
100%.
Yeah.
I 100% agree with that. So, and the fun thing for me is I've been able to sit and watch you do it, dude. Mm-hmm. Like, and by default, and just being somewhat in the proximity of you through Will's world and the other world, like, I don't know what the other world is I'm referring to, but you get what I'm saying. Like, just watching a rising tide raises all the ships.
Yeah.
Because all of a sudden it's like, oh, dude, if he can do it, I can do it. Yeah. Or if that dude's, I'm doing this. And it really does take that.
That's the right mindset, dude. Because so many people are just locked up in their box of what they think is possible. It takes someone to just completely shatter the paradigm. One of my favorite stories was one of my buddies, I hadn't seen him in years. This like old college roommate. We used to play Halo together. Like, you know, he was on the football team, and like just a great buddy. He calls me and he's like, John, I'm going to be in Scottsdale. Like, you want to go to dinner? And I'm like, yeah, he's successful, right? Right. So I'm like, yeah, I'll come pick you up. He didn't have a car, so I drive up to the Kierland, and I have my wife's green Lamborghini, and he didn't know. He's not a social media guy, and I roll down the window, and I'm like, dude, it's me. And he comes in and he's looking in this Lamborghini, and it's like, dude, the interior's just so badass. And he looks at me, he's like, takes him about 2 minutes, and he's like, what the fuck changed? And he's just like laughing, and I'm just laughing, you know?
Yeah.
And I'm like, bro, dude, so much. Like, where do you want me to start? You know? And so we just had a great night at dinner, but that he kept referring back to that question because he legitimately wanted to know.
He's like, who are you?
Yeah. He really wanted to know. And so I think that moments like that to me are fun.
Right.
Because in your life, most of the people that you know, most of your friends, most of the people you associate with, their lives get incrementally better, like just linearly a little bit better. A raise every year, a little bit more money, but then you buy a nicer car. Then it's like there's just a linear type of improvement, which is fine. But my life going from, broke to having a company that's going to do over 50 million, now I'm flying private almost wherever I go. And whether, someone likes that or doesn't like it, it's like, it's such a paradigm shifting thing for people that used to know you. It's like, it breaks their paradigm of possibility sometimes.
Okay.
And I think that's important because if
100%.
it was me and I saw someone do that, that's inspiring.
1,000%.
Yeah.
I agree. Like, dude puts his pants on the same way I do. Like, we'll figure this out.
Right.
Like, if he can do it, we can do it for sure. So if you had to answer somebody that you didn't know that wasn't your buddy and it was just directly to the point, dude, what changed?
I think that, I got really clear about what I wanted. So like clarity is paramount, right? You can't aim at something you can't see. And so getting clear about what I actually wanted my life to look like and then being unapologetic about it. It's like, you want to fly private? Cool. Like some people might judge you, but you're not judging yourself. You want to have a Lamborghini, a Rolls Royce, and a Ferrari in your garage? Cool. Other people might think you're, whatever for having it, but you have no judgment on that. So it was like getting clear about what I wanted and then being unapologetic about it. Right. And that was where that permission to win piece came into play. And then from there, you have to have awareness of where you're lacking the skill set needed to help you propel towards those dreams. So you can get clear about it all the time and be unapologetic about it. But if you're never going to actually accumulate the skill set necessary, then you're going to try to manifest in the corner and nothing's ever going to happen. So there is a skill set development part of it that is very necessary.
100%.
Yeah.
So clarity. So I'm going to recap it.
Yeah.
Step 1, clarity. We need to be very clear on where we're going. It's super hard to get to Scottsdale from Utah if we don't even know where Scottsdale is.
Right.
Okay. Then 2, unapologetic. So removing all judgment about it. It doesn't matter what anybody thinks, even what I think. I'm just curious.
Let me interject right here. And this is where the kind of the last, not the last mentor, but an integral part of the story, William, he removed the negative emotions, primarily doubt or fear, guilt, and shame, right? It's like the negative emotions, like guilt and shame and fear. We went through this process, and for those of people that don't know, it's like hypnosis, it's hard to explain what Will does, but it's that moment, I reached out because he was, I heard he was this NLP expert and he was into hypnosis. So I'm like, cool, like I'm locked up somewhere. I need to help fix it. And so we went through, very rapidly. And it was like, I woke up one day and I wasn't afraid to chase it. I wasn't afraid of the judgment. I wasn't afraid of the shame of wanting a certain life. It literally was gone.
I love it.
And when that was gone, it allowed me to just go do it.
I get it.
Yeah.
And that is actually how we met. Because you were never even on my radar until Will. And then all of a sudden there's this athletic AF thing and there's this, and I'm competitive, dude.
Yeah.
I am. And Will's like, so I'm working with this NFL guy. I'm like, who's this NFL? I don't care who this NFL, and it was you, right? And then we kind of crossed paths, but like same exact experience of entrepreneuring, being a 1099 sales guy, knocking doors, all of this. Like, okay, I've had enough success that like, it looks like I'm successful, but something is not clicking. What is not? And then a fellow door-to-door guy of mine got this NLP certificate from this guy named William Lamb. And I was like, NLP's a real thing?
Yeah.
I've heard about that.
Me too.
And then all of a sudden, Will and I are on the phone, and I'm like, what is happening?
Yeah.
This is what. And removing the emotions and reprogramming is incredible. Which it is. If you don't know it, you don't know it. But,
Right. It's hard to explain.
But
Yeah.
but once you know, dude,
Right.
you can't unknow it.
Right.
It's really, really cool. Okay, so clarity, then removing the negative emotions.
Unapologetic, allowing, like
we're
clearing
doing
the
this.
path, right?
Okay.
Yeah.
And then from that, remind me of the last one.
Accumulating the skill sets necessary. So
Correct.
that's like, what do you need to learn how to do, or find somebody that can do it better than you to make it so that business idea flourishes, right? So a lot of people want to do fitness. They're great at fitness, but they have no idea how to market, right? So it's like, I'm might go down in history as one of the greatest fitness marketers of all time. And I do it in a way that make a lot of people mad, but marketing is the engine that makes this company go, right?
Okay.
And so I had to learn how to market in a way that would attract dream clients all day long, and then sell them on something that would change their life. And then the how part of it is we had to fulfill on that promise, because you can fool people for a little bit, but eventually people will find out. And so you have to have all the components: marketing, sales, fulfillment, right? It's like all of it matters if you're going to build a big company.
100%, man.
Yeah.
100%. And you've taken dudes through that already have big companies. A lot of the clients you have are like, they have $100 million plus companies.
Yeah.
That CEO group is full of a bunch of heavy hitters. And then even back in the day, in the beginning, can I say his name? Like Morrow, dude. He's a stud, man. He took him, like, he was amazing, and he was already super successful.
Yeah.
But it's so incredible. On the skill set side of it, are you still a student of the game? You still learning more stuff?
Always, dude. I mean,
Cool.
Marketing is the cool part about marketing is the fundamentals are the same, right? And I never realized this. It's like people made boatloads of money with sending mailers out to the mailbox.
True. Dan Kennedy did.
Right, exactly. And so you study guys like that because it's like the mechanism has changed. Now, you could still make a lot of money on mailers today, right? But the mechanism now is like digital is where I saw the eyeballs. So it's like you go where the eyeballs are. Now, how do you put a message out there and get someone into your pipeline so that they can be sold?
Love
right? And so the greats of marketing, the Dan Kennedys and Hormozy was one of my first mentors that even opened the door for my understanding of digital marketing.
Right.
It's constantly evolving, right? The algorithms change a little bit, the platforms change, but at the end of the day, the fundamentals are the same. There's eyeballs, you have to capture them. Like we're gonna the guy who built Tybo, like
Billy
but not the guy who built it, but the guy who marketed it on TV, and mypillow.com.
Yeah,
he's in our elite program. And so really? You'll see Supra on TV. You'll see Supra on.
Wait, he's in like the CEO program?
Yeah.
Is he coming to the thing in May?
Yeah, absolutely. He's been, dude.
The guy that, like, he's my pillow guy who's on the TV?
He's the marketing arm of it.
Oh,
so he's not the personality.
He did the presentation a few weeks ago.
No.
That was a different business thing?
Yeah.
You have so many flipping mentors, dude. I'm like, what is going on right now?
Yeah. No, this guy is a marketer, right? He's the one that put the Tybo and the mypillow.com.
You're going on TV? Is that what I heard you say?
Yeah. I'm saying, so you'll see like very quickly, Supra will go omnipresent.
QVC.
Like we're only on Meta right now. We don't even do Google stuff. Like we haven't even, we can't really put more people in. Last month we did 420 something brand new clients.
That's why Grant wouldn't hire me, because like you'll sell too much, dude.
Yeah.
So he told me I had to go full time. That's why.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So, but very quickly you'll see this brand just light. Because it's going to be everywhere though. It's going to be like you can't not see John. He's on TV, he's on Meta, he's on Google, he's in Times Square. It's like different brand partners.
Wait, we're going on Times Square.
Yeah, that'll happen in the next 90 days. You'll have a big billboard, and I'm not going to say the person who is going to be like, it's not going to be me, but it's going to be the brand and somebody else that everybody knows, and I won't say it till it happens. You'll see it. Stay tuned.
Okay, that's a good teaser. I like that.
That's exciting, so going back to like being a student of marketing. It's like I have aspirations of well over $100 million. We're not a fitness, like we do fitness coaching. That's what we do, but we're in the wellness market. And so that's huge. And we're going to just continue to build in that understanding. So
I love it.
yeah,
that's exciting.
But most people don't spend the time to acquire the skills, or, they don't like marketing, so that they don't market. It's like there's so many good ideas and people have big dreams, and it goes back to what you said. It's like they're not willing to do what it takes to make them come true, though.
It's so true, man. And at the very root of it goes back to what you were saying with Will. It's fear is at the base of it. It's not that they don't like marketing. It's not that they don't want to succeed.
Exactly.
They've tried. They got kicked in the
face. And fear of what, though? So you're getting close. Fear of what?
Of winning.
No.
Of failure, of all the things. What?
No.
What is it?
Think about failure, dude. Like if you were on an island by yourself,
okay,
right, and there was just you, just you, and you failed at something, what would you do? I
would laugh and be like, well, try again, dude. Let's go.
Right. So what are people afraid of?
Winning?
No, judgment.
Oh.
They're afraid. They're afraid of failing in front of other people.
Valid, dude.
Yeah. If nobody else was around, they wouldn't care.
Yeah, I've heard you say judgment a few times throughout the interview, so that makes sense.
People are terrified of it. People are terrified to not be a part of the group. So, like, you saw this with COVID. You saw this in so many different ways. Like, if you go against the grain and you're not a part of we're hardwired. Like, our unconscious mind wants us to be a part of safety. Safety is in the group. But if you're ever going to go move mountains, you got to be out of the group. So you're going to take arrows in the back. You're going to take shots. Like you're isolated. You're unsafe.
Well, we see that on your social media. You have like dudes like, hey, how's your rental car?
Right. And so my point is, like, people don't know what they're even afraid of. But I'm telling them right now what they're afraid of. They're afraid of the judgment of other human beings. And if you can remove that, think of how free you would be. Think of how free you could chase your goals.
Spot on, dude.
But because you're afraid to fail in front of your wife, you're afraid to fail in front of your parents, you're afraid to fail in front of your sisters, you're afraid to fail in front of your old high school classmates, you're afraid to fail of strangers. On the internet, it's like, what if you remove all that? You can just win.
Hence the unapologetic.
You can just win. Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm picking up what you're putting down.
Yeah.
Makes sense to me, dude. That's powerful. Okay. That's really powerful.
Yeah.
We could almost stop right now, but I have a couple more questions.
Okay, let's go. Chew on that for a little bit.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Okay. Afraid, and I just want to.
Let me say the key is how, right? People's like, how do you just not be afraid of it? I'm like, I didn't know that. Like that was precisely the moment that's why I was going to Tony Robbins, walking on fire, pounding my chest. I'm like, I was trying to, like, that was like the centerpiece of it all. Right. And that was where the removal of it from a simple exercise that took 5 minutes. 5 minutes set me free.
Sensei, dude.
Yeah.
That's what I call him.
Right.
Yeah. That's wild, man. Okay. Dude, I like that. That's really, really, really powerful.
So sell anything, bro. So
yeah, it's powerful. It's a good thing.
Yeah.
So you got me.
I love I saw that you were stunned over there. So
you got me a little bit.
Yeah. Sell anything. I love the name of this show.
Life's a pitch.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Life, is that your tagline?
Yep.
Did you trademark it?
This guy.
That's great.
We're going through the process.
I love that, dude.
No, it's fun, man.
That's amazing, bro.
He's stunned.
Yeah. See, that stunned me.
I just surround myself with people who can stun me, and I'm like, oh, dang. All right, let's keep going.
Well, I mean, I love it because when I heard the name, I'm like, dude, like everything is sales. Like you're selling yourself to, I'm selling my daughter every day on eating the right foods and, all this stuff. And so
every day.
Yeah.
Well, dude, it all comes down to like finding my own little superpowers, really where it started. Like I have a senior in high school right now he's going to graduate. I know he's going to graduate, but he's going to have to sell himself through it. And dude, I get it because I had to sell I was like a lot of credit short of graduating 3 or 4 weeks before it was time to graduate. And I was able to go in and sell my 9th grade teachers to change some of my grades so that I could graduate. And like, that has just been a pattern of my whole life. And I worked at the 24-Hour Fitness on 9th East in Murray for a long time as a trainer. And I'd sell the lights out of training. And everybody's like, what are you doing? I'm like, I don't know. This is easy for me.
Dude, you know what's funny, dude? I just had this flashback. when I was in college, I needed a summer job.
Okay.
And so I applied to 24-hour fitness.
Okay.
I don't know if I've ever shared this story before. And so I go into, and I'm like, I had no certifications, but I'm like, I just want to train people. Like, I fell in love with training since high school, right? So I've been training.
Absolutely.
I'm like, I'm a junior college football player. Like, who wouldn't want to train? I have this audacity, right? And so I went to the job interview, and they're like, oh, this isn't a training position. This is sales. I'm like, I don't want to sell anything, right? and he's like, I'm like, okay, well, I'm here. So, you know, are you going to interview me? He's like, here's a piece of paper. Here's a pen. He's like, go get 20 people and write their name and phone number down that might be interested in a gym membership.
Free session. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And I was like, you're serious? He's like, yeah, come back. If you do it, you got the job. And I'm like, okay. So I took it, and on the way out, I threw it in the garbage can and just drove home. I was too scared, dude. I was too scared to talk. All I had to do was talk to people, and I couldn't do it.
Dude,
But now, we're selling. We're selling record numbers of
hundreds.
Yeah, so
hundreds a week.
I should go find that guy and be like, look at me now. You can take your little piece of paper and pen and job interview.
It's all digital now, dude. I'm not doing it on this paper.
Yeah.
Give me a QR code. I'll get them on there.
Yeah. See, for me though, I believe that if you're great at marketing, it makes the sales process much easier. It's one and the same, right? It's like, if I'm great at marketing, selling my program from my salespeople, very repeatable.
Very.
If marketing sucks, sales have to be much more skilled, right?
Agreed.
And so like, I focus all my attention on making it as easy as possible when a person comes through the pipeline to just collect credit card.
Dude, they're ready to go.
They're ready to go.
Literally, the sales process happens. You're communicating the message, you're capturing the permission, you're doing all the stuff you need to do on the funnel. And then they get on the call and you're like, well, why are you here? And then they sell themselves.
Exactly. I think that, you know, selling anything is great, but if you want to make that easier, be a great marketer.
I agree with that 100%. 100%. And that's really where this all stemmed from. I've had zero social media presence my entire adult life. Actually, when I started knocking doors, it was because I had an online marketing company that failed like a champion.
Yeah.
And then I had to start knocking doors. And the judgment thing, I was literally a 30-year-old dude with 4 kids moving my family across the country. Mm-hmm. And I was like, I'm a freaking door-to-door sales guy. Mm-hmm. Like, what? I was so afraid of being judged by all my buddies.
Yeah.
But since giving myself permission, I'm like, I don't really have any options.
Exactly.
Well, Dave Allred, you know Dave Allred.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So Dave was with my regional at Vivint, and he's a stud. But he was just like, dude, if you like, look at these guys doing this, and I was like, I'm gonna murder this thing. Yeah. And I just went out and crushed it, and that has been a pattern my whole life. Hence the podcast is, if you put me in an environment, whether it's a gym, you put me anywhere, and that you give me something to sell, I will sell it like a champion. It's the easiest thing on the planet.
You just need to break the pattern of needing to have your back against the wall.
Which we have now done.
Yeah. Good.
Yeah. So, because in the last 3 years, I've got a business that I still have moments in my back because it is a pattern.
Yeah.
But like, it does definitely happen. But we've got a company that's successful. Same as you were sharing the $3 to $4 million jump. That's where my current sales company is we did $5 million 2 years ago, did $6 million last year. But this last year was like, what is happening? This hurts.
Yeah.
And it's simply just because the revenue looks good, and it's like, oh, we have money.
Yeah.
And then you look at the profit, and you're like, do we have money?
Revenue is vanity, man. Revenue,
it really is.
Yeah.
It really is. And so those shifts are happening, and sell anything is just a process of that. So we can bring more qualified salespeople in to sell the stuff we're selling, and just. Dude, it's fun, man. Selling is a good time. And it really it changed my life at a massive scale to just believe in myself. And sales was the platform I did that in.
I believe I just was on a sales meeting with my sales team. We have 19 reps now, right? Okay. And we're just slinging. Like, I tell them, like, you're the 96, 97 Chicago Bulls. You're on this squad. That's who we are, right?
Yeah.
And I'm like, I don't believe a lot in like being a master of objection overcome. Right? Like, I'm not that guy.
I agree.
But I sell on influence, right? I'm like, if you can master influence, which is persuasion, right? Influence, that is where you're just going to dominate, right? But in order to be influential, you have to be influential. So that means that you have to build yourself into somebody that's worth following. And so I believe that sales is like the best personal development path that anybody could get into, because 100%. You'll never be great if you don't have influence, and you'll never be influential if you don't have that something where people want to follow. And if you have that, it's like you sell anything. You can sell anything.
Literally anything. Dude. Because
I can sell anything I believe in.
That's the key, dude.
Yeah.
If you don't believe in it, it's like, dude, I don't buy it. That doesn't make sense to me. But if you believe in it, then it's so easy to sell.
Yeah.
But you're spot on. You're selling your daughter all the time. I have 7 kids, dude.
That's crazy.
I had to like sell 3 of them before I came to this podcast this morning, because we're all down here for a cheer competition for my daughter.
Do you have a Sprinter van? Like what? Like how do you?
Yes,
you
I do, man.
Okay.
You know how I got it? Not Stretch. We talked about one of Stretch's, but Stretch's were too nice and fancy.
Yeah. Make more money.
No, mine is a 4-wheel drive one that I can full send it, and it's like, it looks like me. It's redneck.
Okay, cool.
But it's still a Sprinter.
Nice.
It does its thing. Yeah, no, we love our van.
So you drop your kids off in a Sprinter van?
No.
No. I mean, what are the ranges, bro? Like, this is crazy.
No, so we got a senior, who's my oldest. He's 18, and then my youngest is 5. So about every 2 years we popped one out. My wife just joined Supra because we're done popping them out.
Okay.
And so she's like doing her thing, and dude, it works. Supra works. He has an ambassador program, everybody. I need you to go to his. So
I love it.
But yeah, it's fun, dude.
Yeah.
Sales is, you're selling your wife on things, you're selling your kids on things, you're selling your employees on things. It's nothing more than persuasively influencing somebody to say, listen, this is where we're going, and this is how we're going to do it, and this is what's in it for you. And then they buy in. And I don't mean that rudely, but that's literally the interaction of humankind.
Right.
Hence, sell anything. That's a pitch.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's kind of fun. So with Supra, 100 mil in the wealth space. You got any other fun things? Or are you super focused on?
We're 100% focused. Like it is complete focus. One of the things I'm most excited about is we're developing our own tech. So like this is something that'll come out in the next 12 months. We'll have an app that nobody has doing fitness. You know, most people white label different platforms because it's the easiest path to, get into the game, which is what we did, right? And now we have our own tech that's going to bring some gamification. It's going to be a whole different user experience. And so that's something that I'm very excited about. Last year we had our like Supra Human experience 2024 event, which was at the W. We saw the W could hold 200 people. And so I think we had like 1,000 active clients at that time, 1,500 or so. Now we're crossing over 4,000 active clients. We're going to do this 25 event in Nashville, and it's going to be the most tricked out like Supra experience ever.
Okay.
And so we're bringing in a couple speakers, but really a celebration of the Hall of Famers and the company, right? We have over 50 full-time head fitness coaches within our company, over 80 employees. And so, this next event that we're going to do in October is going to be spectacular. So those are like the two big things that we're doing that I'm very excited about. And then obviously expansion into, different verticals in the wellness space.
So cool, man. It's inspiring. It really is so cool. That's a long way from a dungeon gym.
Long way, dude.
A long way. Not even the same.
But I needed it all, dude.
You really do.
I needed it all. I needed it. Yeah. It's like you're forged in that, and you can't have the dream without all the stuff that was in your past.
I agree with that.
Yeah.
100%. I'm going to say this because it's going to hold me accountable. So I have Ben now again as my trainer. Okay. Just based off of sad things, but so Ben's my trainer. But when I was with Ben before, this is gonna hold me accountable. I'm putting myself on blast on the interweb.
Good.
Yeah, this is a good thing.
Good.
Okay, so I training at 24-Hour Fitness. Then I went to Lifetime Fitness, and I don't know what it is about Utah, dude, but people are always doing physique shows. Always. That's just what they do. You know that. And I was like, I could do one of those, but I never would eat the way I was supposed to eat. I would lift like a champion. So Ben, as you know, he's done some shows. Yeah. And before Tyler passed, we kind of chatted about it because every week on my check-ins, they're like, dude, that's an app. What is that? That's happening. Yeah. And I was like, let's just do a show. And then all of a sudden it pivot. We're now doing a show.
Oh, you're doing a show
in October.
Okay.
in October.
Yep.
October 4th.
Okay.
Just for fun. Because
Yeah.
I'm a master's now.
Yeah.
I'm 40. So
Amazing.
there's a good chance that nobody's going to be in there.
Yeah.
But it will be fun. But doing that show, and then the next week, I think, is the Nashville thing. Because Ben's like, dude, if you do the show, I'm coming out to Nashville. Is it the second week of October?
So I'm gonna really like hurt your feelings right here.
Is it the same weekend?
Yeah.
First weekend?
Yep.
I'm not. Then just put my banner up there when I get the Hall of Fame and say he's doing a show.
Okay. I'm sad you're gonna miss this event though.
Dude, is it the 4th? Is that when it is?
It's gonna be the I think the 2nd and 3rd.
Well, then I'll fly home from my show and be miserable at
Okay, yeah.
Supra, just like I can't eat anything right
Yeah,
now.
just lettuce.
Just but partially some of that is just giving myself permission to actually go and do what I wanted to do from when I was little.
It's amazing.
Because you see these muscle and fitness magazines when you're little and you're like, dude, how do you look like that? How do you look like Arnold?
Yeah.
Like, how do you do these things? And so I'll never look like that. It's not a goal to be a professional by any means. I might as well do it just for fun.
Yeah.
And now it's going to be on the stinking internet because Brady has like this posting schedule where I can't get out of it. And I know it's going to go on there.
Yeah.
So October 4th is it. But Ben was going to come to the show, but he's going to be in Nashville, which is totally fine.
Right.
Unless it's on the 3rd and he's done and he can fly his butt over to Utah.
Well, yeah, exactly. We'll see.
Find out.
Yeah, we'll find out.
Let's get those dates.
Yeah.
But no, I just want to say thank you so much, dude, for coming on the show. And thank you for sharing the nuggets. And thank you for being inspiring, dude. It's been fun to watch because like I said, we entered Will's world at the same time and you've just been going.
Thank you.
It's been cool.
Thank you.
The last question I do want to ask is we are targeting commission-driven or entrepreneurial people, mostly married people.
Mm-hmm.
Speak a little bit about the dynamic of being married and succeeding in business, and then we can wrap it up.
I think that
because none of us had to be on board with every investment you've made. Or you had to come clear at one point when she's like,
well,
where'd that 20K go?
Yeah, exactly. In the beginning, I just asked for forgiveness.
That's what I did.
Right. But there's a level of belief that she had in me, right? And I did enough to where she trusted that eventually, even though it was taking longer than we both wanted it to,
right,
that we'd end up somewhere positive. I think that, if nothing is worse than like when a spouse is unsupportive about something. It's like when we sell fitness and the guy has to ask permission to do a fitness program. It's like, what do you mean? Right. Yeah. It's like, that's a symptom of you not being trustworthy. If your wife trusted you, then you could just make the decision and get fit. Like, how is that a problem? But what happens is, like, people run their mouths all the time. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this. And after 10 years of marriage, of someone hearing that you're going to do all these things and nothing ever happens, like, you're not going to, you are going to be in that hell, right? You're going to have to ask permission to do every single thing. And so for men especially, like, if they want to be free, they have to earn trust. And if they're going to earn trust, they have to get the result. And so, they're in this negative feedback loop a lot of times where it's like they just keep saying they're going to do something and then it never gets done, right? So I just think that if you want, there's nothing more powerful than a relationship when both couples are, like I said in the beginning, very ambitious and then also trust each other immensely.
Cool.
Right? Because in that dynamic, it's like the sky's the limit. But not a lot of people get to live in that. They don't live in that type of relationship because they haven't earned it. They haven't worked on themselves enough. So, I think that it's something where everyone should shoot for that type of freedom in a relationship because we all crave it. I know as men we crave it.
Absolutely.
We want to be trusted, but you have to get the result if you're ever going to be trusted.
Yeah. You want her to smack you on the butt on the way out the door and be like, go get him, dude. Because I know you got this. 100%.
Exactly. Go bring the food.
Go kill, bring it home.
Right.
I agree.
Exactly.
Dude, I love it. Well, again, thank you, man.
Yeah.
I appreciate that.
Thank you, buddy.